Second semi-final, everybody. Granit Gaming here at the HeroesHype Premier Series going up against Team Russia. And we have a couple of subs and stand-ins here today. Now, first of all, it seems like Henning is missing for Granit Gaming, which means that they have a sub-player, and that is none other than DAB. So we all of a sudden have Tai on the support. Let's introduce the blue team first on Sky Temple, our first map. We have Lauber on Mal'Ganis, DAB on Hanzo, Fury on Chen, Tai on Rhaegar, and Swamgrotta on Thrall. And over on the right side for Team Russia, Stalk on Tyrael, playing with Dequaza and Masquerade today on ETC and Imperius, Kuni-chan on Karazim, and Vodka-chan on Li Ming. Now, as we already mentioned a couple of times in the past, in the HeroesHype Premier Series, they don't have to play with the same lineups that they use in Division S, which is quite important. And obviously, there's also a couple of players that every now and then sub in. If someone like, in this case, Henning, for example, can't make the day, they can just simply sub someone else in that hasn't played in this tournament. That's exactly what's happening here. So we have DAB with Granit Gaming, which is actually quite interesting because that makes this lineup even more scary than it already was to begin with. Granted, you might not really have your proper support player here, but Tai has already in the past shown that he has a pretty big hero pool and apparently is adding a couple of supports to the mix. Echo of Elements on level 1 for Thrall. In the meantime, Stalk getting attacked here in the middle. Now the Russians have to, of course, now prove that they're able to take the opponent down at this point and fight their way through this. They had a couple of insane games, actually, at the Division S playoffs. And Fury up at the top went straight back into the War Master. That's something that the Russians have started to play in the first place, but now after the recent patch, everybody else started to jump onto the chain train as well. Down to the bottom of the map, Masquerade sitting there with Imperius. The CC train is definitely strong for the Russians. They're playing with a triple front line here. And then they have still Li Ming for the damage and for the resets, obviously. And Imperius, in particular, is doing usually a huge amount of damage as well. So just because you're playing with 3 tanks at the front line or 3 melee heroes doesn't mean that you don't have damage, especially when Li Ming comes into play with additional resets. But Imperius alone is going to add quite a lot of that, and should actually be able to do a bit of a number on those bad boys at the front line, especially if he can lock down someone like Chen properly. But now that we're also having Mal'Ganis back to action, there's a chance to set everything up, let's say, for an arrow or something else. Already the Wing Guard on level 1, straight into the Might of Sargeras. And Lauber has actually started to show a little bit of an affinity for that particular hero, already trying to play during the Division S playoffs multiple times, with, I want to call it mixed success, especially against Wind and Rain. That was an insane first series, by the way. I gotta say, if you haven't watched this yet, if you are actually coming into this game either on Twitch or YouTube and you haven't watched the Division S playoffs yet, you owe it to yourself to check those games out. And especially the series between Wind and Rain and Granit Gaming was one of many highlights of that tournament, and definitely turned out a little bit different than people expected. The grand final best of 7 in particular was, of course, absolutely astounding. But yeah, check that out if you haven't done that yet, either on YouTube or, of course, in the Twitch VODs. But as we're looking at the game at hand, I think, again, the aggression here straight through the middle with Lauber and Swamgrotta completing his quest. That's a pretty quick one, too. 3 minutes? Not even 3 minutes in, and he already has the Echo of Elements completed. Up towards the top, we're seeing a bit of a brawl as the blue team is trying to go for the first temple. So far, that's working out nicely. Thrall had to go back to the bot lane since Li Ming was still hanging out there and trying to get the extra experience for the team. But in the middle of the map, it's a little bit of a contest still. I mean, finally the red team is taking over the shrine, but that could have been a little bit more successful for them. They lost a few shots to their opponent. Level 4 abilities have to be stacked soon. Vodka-chan is coming in, so they're definitely starting to take this one down. But talking about taking things down, seems like the fort at the top lane is not going to make it unless someone is pushing them off that temple, and that's not going to happen anytime soon. The fight is starting up, first structure destroyed, and that's a really nice lead, and Masquerade is about to fall. Imperius goes down. Good kill here. The Panda went in and rubbed his furry butt into Imperius's face as he jumped with the feet first onto the target and took him down. Yep, the smell of a panda right there. So, as Fury is going for the Kung Fu Panda style right here and gets a kill against Imperius, we're now having at the bottom of the map our 1 versus 1 setup still. In this case, Calamity is finally kicking in for a vodka chance, so a chance to go into those team fights with a few more resets at this point. Level 7 abilities with the Echo Paddle and the Holy Feather, now taken too. And we're having the Will of Tichondrios. Sustain, sustain, and more sustain. That's the name of the game, as Lauba is moving in and starting to try and sustain himself through that. There's already the sleep advantage, no level 10, therefore no mosh pit. But the attack to go straight for Tyrael. And that could be an explosion kill. Close! Fury goes down. Double kill. Yep. Kill for a kill, and then Rhaegar dies too. So all of a sudden, with Vodka-chan saying, you know what, boys? I like resets. Tries to go in for another one. Misses it, and then gets taken down. Lauba doesn't even come back, just leaves all the honor for Thrall. And Thrall comes in and takes him down and says, well, I'm not Hanzo, but I like honor as well. Hanzo, in the meantime, has, by the way, died on the red side of the map. So now we have 3 kills against 3. Thanks to the 4 taken out top side. This is, at this point, still an advantageous situation for Team Granit Gaming, especially since they have the lead in experience as well. But the Russians are actually starting to go back into this a little bit. Alright, with that said, mid lane getting attacked now too. Tai sitting here, Swamgrota also in play. And now with Vodka-chan starting to move bot side, it's pretty obvious that both of the teams are going to try to fight for their temple. There's already a bit of a battle over the Siege Giants, but nothing too crazy. A few shots fired, and that's about it. But they're both looking at level 10 now, and with ETC topside, there's just no doubt that he's going to go into stage dive here. He's going to try and play that global strategy, but of course he has to reach that before his teammates at the bottom of the map bite the dust. And with the level 10 now ready for Granit Gaming, they get the start. Yeah, they get a bit of a head start here. ETC is still looking for the XP. He's going to find it. Triple Panda, Ancestral. Also having now the Carrion Swarm taken. And now the chance to get ETC into the action with a good stage dive, but the rest of the team has to, of course, follow up with it too. And it seems like the Russians, for now, actually let this one slide. They go into the camp in the meantime all the way up to the top. No works quite out so far. Trying to get the kill against Vodka-chan. Doesn't quite work out. And they're getting the damage now in against the fort itself. 1 fort down. That's actually the second one that's falling. Masquerade against Fury. Those two are still fighting against each other here in the middle. Don't think that the Panda is going to fall anytime soon. But now that we have the 7-sided, a bit of isolation, might be able to get that kill in. And they're already looking for some. They're starting to move in. ETC jumps in with the stage dive. Sanctification on the ground as the fight is starting up. The Ancestral is keeping Thrall in play, and they're going for Stalk, trying to get the kill here. And Tyrael is barely moving out. And now they're trying to make the play for Lulba. Lulba gets hit and survives. Kuni-chan is low, and the Panda goes in deep for the kill. Gets the kill right there. Masquerade might be next. Yes, they're trying to go for Imperius. And the Panda... Oh my god, he can't get it. Wow. Masquerade survives. There's still damage being done here in the middle at the fort. And in addition to that, the Siege Giants at the bot lane are starting to take down the wall too. But at least there's something fighting for the Russians. And that's the camp at the top lane. So they're able to break through the wall and maybe even take the fountain down. Structures are eliminated. The big problem that still exists for the Russians is, despite the fact that in experience they're not too far behind just yet, if you just look at the minimap, you already know what's going on here. Every single fort has been destroyed, and that is a big, big problem. So, yeah, now it means that we're talking about keeps soon, whenever those temples are going to come up again. And the next one is actually going to be a double temple. One in the middle, one at the bottom. There's also a boss up that could be taken if one of the teams decided to go for a bit of a Hail Mary move here. It's not going to be Granit Gaming, I tell you that much. Maybe if they hit level 13, but even then I would assume that's going to be most likely not going to happen. But yeah, 22,000 damage for Hanzo, 20,000 for the Panda. Talking Panda, pushed out another wave up at the top and is actually looking to see if he can do even more here. Lauba is sitting at the side in the bush. Panda is jumping in. They're trying to go for Kuni-chan. They're going for Kuni. The rest of the team is there too. ETC is dealing with the top lane camp. And Lauba just puts everybody to sleep as he's going straight back. Arrow connecting with one. They're trying to get the kill in. Masquerade is being chased. They're forcing them into a fight on level 13 against level 10 talents. Not a good situation for Team Russia at all. And there's the Earthquake and the damage. Boom! Down they go. Double kill against ETC and Imperius. And now they're trying a triple, going straight for Tyrael. No chance for him to get anything out here either. And that is going to be the end of the top wall, at least. Double Temple is also active, 7-sided. Kuni-chan trying to get some damage in against Fury. Not able to pull that off. They're backing off now to get those 2 temples. Could even make the play for the boss later on, to be honest with you. But if they get both temples, there's a really good chance that we're going to see... actually, we're not going to see one of those keeps fall, even if they get both temples, simply because there are still turrets on both sides. And the temples always attack the lanes that they represent first, if there are still structures on that particular circle. So in this case, it wouldn't quite work out. But they can at least start to damage them severely. 13 will be ready for Team Russia in just a few seconds, so they can at least fight on even talents. But the keep here is definitely going to take some damage if nobody interferes with Lauba, and Mal'Ganis so far hasn't been attacked, even rotated to. ETC pushing out the top lane, can still use the stage dive to jump in here. They're waiting for Sanctification on the other hand, and they won't be able to have that talent anytime soon. Now Imperius, with a newly found focus into the Molten Armor, has now taken heat of the battle on level 13, which is now way more popular as a standard talent. And ETC is going to come in soon with this one. 2-level advantage at this point for Granit Gaming. 7 kills against 3. There's the 7-sided. Fury again getting attacked here. The Ancestral hits him. The arrow doesn't connect from Hanzo. They're still making the play for the Panda, and the Panda is down. No ult for him, and now it's just animal cruelty that reigns supreme at the bottom of the map, as Chen and Rhaegar have both fallen. Both of them dead, but still the kill. Lauba, oh, it's Thrawn that gets the final hit in. Still a fight though. It's a 4 versus 3, and they're still battling this one out, believing in their chances. Stalk is a bit low. He's going to try and find the trade value here. Undoubted full... Oh, Mal'Ganis, the self-sustain is insane! That shitter actually survives through all of this, and they are winning that fight. How do they win that fight? It was a 5 versus 3 after the double kill. And they're just getting the entire temple out the bottom of the map. What just happened? Lauba, with all the self-sustain on Mal'Ganis and all the tools in his arsenal, is just keeping the team alive and himself, and they are able to get kill after kill after kill. And I think the Russians at this point are just looking at the screen and saying like, what the fuck just happened here? What's going on? It's honestly a bit incredible to see this. There were 2 kills against Rhaegar and against the Panda before the ult even came out, and it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. So at this point, they put the damage through. There wasn't enough focus on the side of the Russians. And I honestly think that they already felt, well, we got this one in the bag. And it turns out that wasn't the case. So now they still have to fight over this. 2 of the keeps have taken damage. The one in the middle and the one at the bottom. Which obviously also means that they're both opened up. Level 16 talents played a huge role too. Let's not forget about that. Combo strikes, Hunger of the Wolf and the Alpha Wolf, and with that level 16 advantage they make the play for the boss. And this could be one where Team Russia decides that this is the hill that they're gonna die on. They might feel forced to stage dive in with ETC, but well, now that Karazim is so far away, I don't think they're gonna make that play anymore. Karazim and Imperius are just too far away to join the rest of the team. What? He had less than 20 HP? Nice hit by Hanzo. DAB connects the arrow, and somehow Tyrael still survives. Incredible. But now at the bottom of the map, the attack is strong, and with the boss moving in, there might be a chance that they are taking the game as we speak. 16 versus 16, so at least that's now a thing. They have even talents as they're trying to set up for the defense here. 2 heroes on the blue team still haven't fallen yet. And here comes the attack as they're starting to jump in. The boss still on full health, trying to chip in too. Stage dive comes in, immediately the ult. Sanctification has been used, and the triple panda is wreaking havoc in the back line. As Kuni-chan goes for the 7-sided. Stalk is already down. Stalk eliminated. Kuni-chan on the run. And in a 5 versus 4 with the boss already shelling away at those shields, we're having the core starting to lose hit points. Imperius is down 2, and this is not looking pretty for Team Russia in game number 1 against Granit Gaming. Granit about to take the victory on the first map in this best of 3 series against Team Russia. GG, and well played as Granit takes the 1-0 lead. Game number 2, everybody. Granit Gaming against Team Russia. On the left side in blue, on Infernal Shrines, DAB on Liming. It's definitely a really good sub to have if one of your players can't make it. We have Lauba on Diablo, Tai on Alexstrasza, our support player today. Fury on Chen, Swamgarota on Greymane. And on the right side of the map, we are seeing Team Russia with Stork on Johanna, Vodka-chan on Oriel, Kuni-chan on Vala, Dequaza on Malthael, and Masquerade on Tacita. Double support Vala. We've just seen that in the other semi-final that we had previously from Washed Up. This time, Team Russia is going to try and pull it off. Bit of a different first support. It's actually kind of cool that Oriel is back since we're having Vala as a genuine battery for the hero. And then again, you obviously have to make sure that they're also getting the damage out with this entire setup, because at this point we're having Fury just jumping through. Lauba with the stuns is also going to be a hugely impactful hero for this entire series here. So we have to wait and see how this is going to work out for them. When it comes to Oriel, haven't seen her in a while. The Searing Light on level 1 at this point. So we're having a more of an aggressive stance for that. Talking Oriel, taking the safe path here. And Vodka-chan has made a great decision with this. If he would have moved straight back down, he would have died there immediately. And there we go, starting to get the action in against Swamgarota, and that might have even been a kill, but they couldn't slow him down long enough for Vala to get a few additional shots in. Vala also on level 1 again with a traditional talent. It is a multi-shot hybrid build, or will be hot pursuit, as the level 1 quest is pretty amazing. It's not only about that movement speed that you get, but that mana per second is having a huge impact on the way that the hero can be played. If you don't have to worry about your mana management this much, then you are in a fantastic spot there. Stork finds himself on Johanna, so that means he has a bit of AoE there too that he can bring into the team fight. But obviously with wave clear, it's more so the objective itself that you're thinking about. And they have a lot, actually. I mean, they have Johanna, they have Tacita, and they have Vala. Those 3 heroes alone are already fantastic for the objective and the map itself. Malthael can chip in a whole lot of that poke damage as well. And he's going to be the one to try and threaten Diablo and Chen in basically all of these fights. Normally, especially in the early game, Malthael is fantastic against Chen. He's really ripping the Panda a new one. The problem comes in later when additional talents for Chen are available, and all of a sudden it's a lot harder to really get the value there. Down at the bottom of the map, there we go. 1 cam taken, just as the first objective is about to be announced. Top side, by the way. But now the hybrid build has actually started. They're trying to make the play down there. Vodka-chan with another quick whip. And trying to get a good position here, and also, of course, keep Vala safe. It's literally the bread and butter of this entire build. If you want to make such a build work and you want to be successful with that team composition, all eyes are on Vala. Your damage dealer is incredibly impactful, but also has to be protected at all costs, because once that Vala is down, the team fight is pretty much lost right there. And we're already having the rotation coming up towards the top side with 16 seconds on the clock. A safe one at that. The only one who was for a second just thinking about going straight to the middle is Masquerade. Pops his trade, so now he gets the vision right there. Level 5 on both sides. And both teams eager to go for the Shaman camp, which is what both of them do. But we still have Masquerade on Tacita making a quick rotation down to the bottom of the map to soften up this wave so that their own wave will push in a little bit more quickly. But it's Protector time, or Punisher time, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Starting to jump in up towards the top. There's a little bit of a defense that they have now to set up, but Panda's already there. Both of the teams without the level 7 talents, but Malthael is still missing. He's not with the team right now. Iron Skin had to be popped on the side of Johanna, so needs to be a bit cautious here. And Malthael now has a choice. Does he join the team fight towards the top or rotate back down and hope for additional experience? And he makes the rotation, which means that Chen has now to meet that rotation to make sure that they're not falling behind in experience too fast, too quickly. 20 stacks already taken, 12 stacks on the other side, and there's the early level 7 for Team Russia. With that, we're now having the Arsenal, we're having the Glimmer of Hope, we're also having the Blessed Momentum, and it's time to shine as they're trying to go for the first kill. Vala has to be careful that she's not too close to one of these walls where Diablo can stun her into it. Malthael and also Chen rotating back up, but thanks to the Dragon Queen here from Tai, we should see the first one claimed by Granit Gaming. The first objective, that is. They're way ahead, 38 against 22. That should be an easy one for them, with Greymane jumping in, getting a few auto attacks through. That's oh, that might be the end of Vala. So that's definitely the first objective. And Vala gets healed, and Vala gets wrecked. 1 kill against 0. Nicely done. 7 on both sides right now. And we're having Malthael currently sitting in the middle of the lane, trying to push this out to at least get some XP. The question is still remaining, how much are they going to lose topside? And guys, Greymane? Yeah, he is murdering this. There's already a lot of focus onto the Punisher, of course, but Greymane, you just can't leave him alone on the structure. He's going to take it down. There was a full 4-man commitment towards the top side, and that's the first fort eliminated as Granit Gaming takes the lead. Nicely done by them. Greymane's still sitting in the middle here as they're trying to make the play. Alright, for now, the question of course, how exactly is Team Russia going to react to this? They got a bit of damage too, but they haven't really done too much in terms of kills. Now, granted, obviously, Granit Gaming got a single kill during the last team fight. It's not that they're ahead with 10 or anything. But they have a slight lead in experience. The passive experience, thanks to the keep being, the fort being destroyed, is going to start to add up for them too. So that's definitely going to be helpful. We're having our rotation here towards the bot lane to get another camp now into the mix as well, to push out the bot lane a little bit more aggressively. And exactly there is that push that we've been talking about. An attempt to poke it out by Kuni-chan. One of the beauties if you're playing the multi-shot build, that you can actually stay at a safe distance and still get some damage through. It's one of the biggest problems when you're going into an auto-attack build and you're trying to play with Creed and the Hunter, despite the fact that the Talons obviously are garbage and it's not really a good build compared to the multi-shot hybrid or even the arrow build. But one of the biggest disadvantages is that it is one of those talent builds that is great when you're winning, and once that you're on the back foot, it's incredibly difficult to find value because you still have to go into auto attack, and if that's the case, then it's very easy for your opponent to make engages against you happen. Whereas with arrows and multi-shot focus, you can still poke against your opponent and have more value on the defensive stance that you would ever have with auto attacks. So that's exactly what Kuni-chan is currently trying to do here. Poke these waves down a little bit, but here's the approach. Level 10 on both sides as they're trying to go for the slow against Vala. There's already a wall in play. The Panda with a triple. Not really a cooldown that Fury had to necessarily burn here. They did it regardless. Malthael with the Tormented Souls, by the way, didn't go into the last riots here. And as Fury is trying to find a bit of added value from the Panda, they're making the jump, but it doesn't really do too much here. In the meantime, DAB flanking in to try and get a kill against Masquerade. He can't get that, but we have Quasar with a double support starting to get some value. And we had a couple of Malthaels that actually did fantastic when they had a double support assistance and took opponents completely apart. Not so far in this game though. The Aegis didn't hit the right target there either, which doesn't make the escape any easier. Vodka-chan is down, that's a double kill, and they're trying to make it a triple against Vala, but at least this time they can escape, and Masquerade is covering the retreat with another force wall. As it stands though, the lead, 2 forts down and 3 kills against 0 plus an experience advantage. Not bad for Granit. They obviously want to head straight into the grand final, where they would actually meet Washed Up. And that has been now the grand final of the HeroesHype Premier Series for, I believe, the last 3 or 4 tournaments. So definitely the 2 top teams in Europe, very eager to once again face off against each other in another grand final. Team Russia, they obviously have slightly different plans here. They want to start that comeback, and they are the comeback kings after all. It's not only about the comeback in the game, it's also the comeback in the series itself that we're talking about here. Starting to make the play right now. That would be perfect for them. It's still even talents, and as long as you can win one Punisher, you might just be able to take a few structures down and close the experience gap. But they have to win the fight down here, and let's see if they can. Fury does have his ult and is about to use it. There's the Apocalypse. They're trying to make the play for Kuni-chan, and Vala is down. The reset for Li Ming, and the second kill comes in as DAB is starting to go hunting. And that force wall isolated Malthael even more. Another kill with the Calamity against Tacita. And that's 4 kills against 0. 7 kills in total. DAB running out of mana. Faster than... Well, actually, he ran out of targets faster than he ran out of mana. Let's put it like that. The only hero that survived was Johanna, and only because she moved down to the bottom of the map. Now we have level 13 talents, so not only do we have pretty much a 2-level lead, but we also have an insane advantage on the kill count. Plus, in addition to that, the Punisher that is soon going to make his way through the bot lane, where the fort has already been eliminated. Unless, of course, Team Russia feels lucky here and is going to make a play for it. I can't really believe that they're going to try this, though. There's only 3 heroes here right now. Granted, Shen is still topside, and Liming is just now taking the bottom. But yeah, they're not making that attempt either way. Right now, it's 1 camp, plus catapults, plus Punisher moving through the bot lane. Shen is still topside, and he seems to feel pretty well there. The catapult pushing in, starting to make the rotation now down to the bottom, or at least into the middle, where Malthael is currently present. Force Wall is trapping Diablo for a second, but Lauba is absolutely fine. Went on level 4 into the self-sustain with the Souls to the Flame here. And they're starting to move through the small wall, trying to see if they can maybe follow up on the Punisher, jump and stun, and get another kill in. Especially, of course, DAB seems to be eager to get a few additional kills onto the board here for himself. But things are looking fantastic for them. That keep is going to fall, there's no doubt there. And they might even get more out of it. Stark is about to die. He barely gets out. 560 hit points on him as he barely survives. But that was nearly a kill. Alex Strasser herself chipping in for that. The keep is about to be obliterated. Vodka-chan still alive, but even Auriel nearly bit the dust there. And now that the keep is down, they're also closing on to level 15. But we still have a big lead for them. 26,000 damage for Li Ming, 25,000 for Vala. 25k, by the way, also for Chen. And, well, Admiral Akbar wants his play back because it's a trap. Lauba is already sitting at the side there. Everybody else is trying to play with Vision 2. And Lauba is the only one that apparently didn't get the memo that they're abandoning the plan, because he's just getting trapped down here and starts to Hearthstone back completely and just saying like, I feel a little bit alone down here. Need to get out of this one or it's going to be a problem for me. So top side, Malthael starting to move in. Yep, Dequaza sitting right there, but has to try and find also some value for the Tormented Souls. Now we have a couple of tools now with the Inevitable End plus the Nullification. There's definitely tools there for them. Blessed Shield, here's the move in from the side. They're trying to go for Li Ming, but DAB moves out and now Johanna's in a bit of trouble herself. Needs to be careful. Fury not jumping in just yet. DAB with another attempt to connect the combo. No last rites means also that a lot of the pressure against Lauba is gone. And they're trying to make the play. But Chen is at the bot lane, pushing another wave out. Lauba in trouble! And can they survive? Ah, he goes down. We're trying to keep him alive here, especially, of course, Tai. But now the counter-attack is coming, and Fury is thinking about jumping in. He has the ult back up, so he can use it right now if they really want to. And let's see. Yep, they're definitely going for it. Lulba is also going to be back soon. He had, of course, 100 souls, so is going to be back in the fight in just a moment. The quest completed on level 4 for Malthael. That gives him a little bit more power in the setup. Here comes the combo from Li Ming as they're trying to make the play. And they can't just quite get that kill out, though. Yep, Lauba is sitting there, again making the play here for Kunichan, or at least Swamkota is trying to, as Greymane is trying to jump onto her. A lot of poke happening at this point, but we're having Granit Gaming survive through this, and so does Team Russia. But Chen is down! And all of a sudden, the Russians are starting a bit of a comeback here. Lauba doesn't have a lot of hit points, so he needs to be careful too. They're trying to isolate the wolf here. That didn't work out. At the same time, we have catapults now starting to go onto the core, so that's another problem. Swamkrota! Oh, he survives! Auriel has died then again. Auriel has actually fallen. I'm not quite sure where exactly they isolated her, but it seems it was here in the middle. Catapults have still chipped away against the shield on the core, but they couldn't quite take it down. At the top of the map, there's still another 2 moving in. And it actually could mean that this fort is going to fall. But since Storg is now starting to rotate onto the lane, I think it's highly unlikely. So 4 stacks already on the level 13 talent for Diablo. Dominance has now been picked up too, which means that we are now obviously going to see those double stuns if he can get them into a good choke point. And on top of this, we are seeing the Draconic Discipline, and we're also having now the Executioner, which in itself is an insane talent. So things are looking great for them. 8 kills against 2, they still have the level 16 advantage, and they use it to get the head start onto the objective itself. And that so far works. Lauber, Tai, Fury, all still sitting around here. Everybody in the middle has to be cautious though. Grayman is now joining up with them, so even if they get forced into a fight, it's not going to be a big problem. Because a 5 versus 4 is not what you want to fight if you are at Talon, even if you're at Talon ahead. Generally speaking, this was one of the best chances for Team Russia to get back into this, if they can force a 5 versus 4 fight, even against the talent advantage, and then get a quick kill, and then wait for their 16 to get it drop into their hands. But now they have 16, but they're 21 stacks behind against Granit Gaming, and thanks to the Dragon Queen, that should be an easy pickup for the blue team, especially since they obviously also have a lot of AoE that they're putting to the test here. Apocalypse being used doesn't really do too much. Here comes the ult already, as we're seeing Alexstrasza take to the skies, but Chen is down, and that was a quick burst and a nice kill. And the Punisher has been taken regardless, but the rest of the team needs now to be careful because it's still a 5 versus 4. Lauber with a big double stun, but a nice whip into the wall makes sure that he also gets stunned out and then focused right away. Tai himself also in slight trouble, but able to keep himself alive here as the Protector, the Punisher, is moving across the map. Tai goes down, and that's 3 heroes eliminated. Yeah, the Russians with the attempt to go strike back into this game. Already we're having in the middle a bit of experiences still left here. Obviously they're going to try and save the keep, which is going to be the first priority. Kuni-chan needs some assistance and gets it in form from Tacitar's shield, so that worked out for them. At the bottom of the map, camps are still taken. But I gotta say, I mean, again, Team Russia is able to defend against the objective, and I think that was the first and foremost important thing that they really needed to do there. 47,000 damage now from Vala and the 48,000 for Li Ming, so both of them on roughly the same damage output. But Vala with a double support, of course, behind her, needs to be able to get some of these kills in. But the gap between in kills has actually started to close. 8 against 5 right now. Ain't too bad. It's actually pretty decent. So now they're starting to try and prepare for the next objective, or so I would assume. The problem, of course, that they have, and I'm speaking Team Russia here, is level 20 is only a single level away from Granit Gaming. Team Russia is still an entire level behind and will need quite a bit of time to get the Storm Talents. And, well, a team fight around level 20 would obviously be the dream for the blue team. But if they can't make that happen, then they would be pretty happy to just simply go and take one of the structures down. That was a great inevitable end use, by the way, from the Quasar. Just as Diablo makes the approach, he uses it, gets unstoppable, and is able to move away. If he doesn't pull that, he might actually die in that case. So still pressure at the bottom of the map. Nice. Force wall and the immediate whip into it. Good stun. Here comes the Quasar with the ult, but everybody is jumping out from it. Tormented Souls pretty much didn't get any value, and the shield on the core is falling in the meantime. There's a Siege Giant camp plus Catapults currently dealing with it, and it's very likely that they're going to lose at least a couple of hit points there. But in the mid lane, the picture isn't any prettier. All of a sudden, that fort is under even more pressure. Down to the bottom of the map, 96%, 90%. The Catapults are still firing, and they're not the only one. We're talking 80% at this point in time. 70, bam! And, well, the Quasar needs another couple of seconds, and that's 69% right now. Make it 68. Things start to become dicey here. Level 20 is now ready, which gives us the Hellgate. It gives us the Elemental Conduit. We're also having the Hunter's Blunderbuss, Rushers, and on Ruby Wings. All claimed now. And it's tough now. I mean, the fort in the mid lane, you can take that whenever. If you really want to fight now and you're Granit Gaming, you can go in for that. But obviously, you are hoping for juicier targets. You're hoping to get a little bit more here. If you force a team fight and you win it, you can literally go down to the bottom of the map and end the game. And they're trying to do exactly that. They're starting to jump in. They take the fort down, and they are about to get a Tacita kill. But a nice save here. Oriel actually keeping him alive. Masquerade is just rushing away, and they're chasing them. They're chasing them hard. They're going for Vala, and they get Vala. Vala is down, Stalk is there too. They're getting the kill against Tassadar, and it has to be game. Unless Quasi is just putting an absolute miracle defense up now and gets a few kills in, this has to be game. Vodka-chan, yeah, the stasis, the Aegis on himself, but that's the end of Oriel, and now Malthel is the only survivor. He keeps himself in play for a bit longer, but it's a 5-man wipe as they go in and take them down. And with a 1-0 lead for Granit Gaming, there's obviously no other conclusion than a 2-0 victory for the blue team. They're dropping the remaining hit points on the core, and that is game, as Team Russia is defeated by Granit Gaming on Infernal Shrines, and Granit Gaming moves into the grand final to face off against Washed Up in another best-of-3 series at the HeroesHype Premier Series. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support, and see you guys next time.